So welcome back, friends and fellow wastelanders. Welcome back to Fixing Up the Commonwealth Gaming for XP with you. And today we are going to finish up the build here at Oberland Station, and I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek at how things are looking. Chaos and Fallout wanted a wider view of things, so let's have a look at how the township has kind of emerged. And you can see it's pretty full on now. Let's just sneak down round the corner here, and you can see kind of a wider view of how things have kind of emerged. And we'll go down there in a second and come look back this way. And we go. If we can remember how to get off of here. Yeah, that's it. We're just going to jump off here. Yo, whoop! There we go. Up we go. So you can see it from the other end. There you go. How's that? There was dog meat just flashed past us. There we go, and we'll run across here so you can see it from the other side. So we are going to finish the build today, and then I need to get a tour, I guess, prepared. So a lot of decorating still to do in here, and so I might show you some of that today, depending on how long it takes us. I have an idea for in here, and we are going to work in this particular space here today, and then we'll be finished. Yeah. Oh, hi ho, away we go into the build menu. We go. So we're going to do some work in this corner here, and then we will make one more building, and pretty much going to call this settlement as done. So I'm going to start off with this shack foundation floor. I want to get this building so that it doesn't overlap the door. So I'm trying to judge just roughly where it needs to be to do that. I want it as tight in this corner as possible. Now, initially I was going to put the door on that front edge, but I actually end up changing this completely and making it so the door's facing us at the angle we're at now, right from here. So a bit of faffage going on just to try and get this to all work in. As I realise when I watch this back, there was a much easier way of doing this, but you know what? Trust me to find the hard way of doing it. Had I brought that shack floor right up to the edge there, I could have built off that. But anyway, not to worry. We like taking our time when we're building. It's what we do. So I'm going to put a heap of floors in here just to try and get this about the right size. It's not quite the right size yet. So we are going to faff around. So I'm going to cut forward in a second. So I decided to go with metal for this, at least part of this building. I want to keep that window as a kind of window into the dwelling we're making, and I just wanted to make it a little bit different because we've gone with a lot of wood in this settlement, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. That floor's still not right, so we faff around for a wee bit longer, and then we start to build this little dwelling. Now this is added to the dwellings that are already there, and there's a few happy accidents that happen in this build which I really like, and it really actually sends me in a completely different way, which I do like happening a lot. So I'm taking that foundation out, and I'm going to put these floors in here, and this has got a lot more to do with the entranceway and how I want to design it than anything else. And it's one of these builds where we're utilising the space that we've got left to do something different with it. So there we go, a little bit of metal. I don't tend to like repeating walls, but we'll see how we go. And I start putting lots of bits and pieces in here, and yeah, looking for other pieces and other mods, and we actually come across something that ends up being good. This does crash the game at one point, and you'll see when we get to that point that the game freezes, and yeah, just tells me, as I said earlier, that we're getting to that tipping point where we're not going to be able to build anymore. So good, it's a good, the timing is good that we are finishing this settlement today, and so we need to find a new settlement to move on to. Now I'm a bit unsure what to do, whether we should start a new settlement, or whether we should wait for Fallout 76. Let me know what you think. You know, when we way back in the mists of times when we were deciding which settlement we wanted to build in, I put a poll up, and you guys were pretty good at responding to, and it was 50-50 between this settlement and £10 to what we wanted to build it. Now what we can do is we can potentially build at £10 next, or you can suggest a completely new settlement for me to build at. Up to you guys. Let me know what you think, and we'll keep fixing up the Commonwealth going for now and keep it a regular segment. Obviously when Fallout 76 comes along, I am not sure how things are going to move forward as far as what I'm going to put on the channel as far as gameplay goes, as far as building goes. That's all a little bit unknown at the moment. Probably to start with, we'll concentrate on some gameplay, and then we'll see how the building component works within that game. So if you haven't heard, or you've been living under a rock or something, Fallout 76 beta will drop for us on Xbox on the 23rd of this month, so it's not too far away, and so I'll be bringing that to you on the channel, and so hopefully you'll be able to gauge what then goes on. So there's a bit of a weird anomaly at the end of this shack here, with the roof not connecting to the that wall. I end up leaving it. I'll patch it up if I need to. It's alright. No worries at all. So that's kind of the inside done. And you might have seen, I did do some kind of experimental work at there with those kind of ducts and whatnot. End up taking those out. I don't end up leaving those there because I change direction on what I add in here anyway, as far as doors go, and you'll see what I'm talking about very, very shortly. So really this is just, we're adding bits and pieces just to see how these all work. I was actually looking for something completely different as far as the doorway goes, and so I'm just playing around with some ideas here. Thanks to everybody that has actually supported this series. We've done 2 settlements now. We've done Sunshine Tidings in fixing up the Commonwealth, and now we've done Oberland Station, and it's been really, really well supported every week. I get a lot of lovely comments, a lot of great ideas about things, and I know it's inspiring a few of you for builds. So that really was what the series was about. It was to go back and see what my original build when I first started playing Fallout looked like at the settlement, and then see what we could do to improve upon that. And it's been a heck of a lot of fun. This settlement effectively looks nothing like my original settlement, nothing at all. So we're going to G2M mod here. If you haven't got that mod, I've done a mod review on this. Check it out, it's pretty good because it has these doors, these cool doors, and this sends me in a completely different direction to what I'd anticipated I would go, because this door is offset like that, and it's adding some wood into the metal, and it's kind of mixing up the textures, which I like a lot. So we take all that ducting out because it really doesn't work because of the way I've done that. But then I'm thinking, I'm looking for a few things, and I remember I have this outer shack wall here. So I'm flicking through, and I go to, you'll see it in a second. So you can see with the GTM mod, there is so much here for you to play with. So initially I'll go put maybe a veranda roof on or something like that, and then I remembered this piece here, and I've used this in a few of my builds, but I haven't used it for a while, and I thought, yeah, you know what, why don't we put that there? That would kind of sort of work there as an outside area. And I have done this before, I think in the castle build that I done quite a while ago. And so one of the tricks with this one is to get rid of the ladder first, but we're going to match it up to the roof on that front piece there, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So we're going to have to switch off the collision to be able to get this to work, and then we'll ease it up into place. And then it, again, this is a happy accident, this wasn't planned, this is just me flicking through menus and looking at different mods, and you see how it's lining up there. So we'll line that up there, and you go, oh, oops, it's off the floor. Well, that's okay, because we could make that kind of veranda area. And so you can see that the ideas and the creative process starts to flow a little bit here and takes us in a completely different direction to where we originally started. So the floor will just snap into place like that, and we'll put a ladder there to get up there, and now you have a kind of entranceway veranda, which just adds a little bit more depth and character to the build. So we're about to freeze up here because obviously you've got to support everything, so we're going to use some breeze blocks to do that and keep with the scrappy theme. This is a bit strange how this works. So I do try and do this by the pillar, and it actually lifts up everything that I've got built, so I end up having to use place anywhere to get this to work. And you can see you can put both those in, you can size them up. As soon as you let go and hit the place anywhere, this will happen. Watch. Oh, okay, that just happened. So it's just a case of rinse and repeat, but at least it gives you the right placement for that item, and up she goes. And what I do is I poke it through the floor and then just back it off a little bit. So yep, I like that, I like the look of that. We will put the small ladder in place like that. There we go, and that gives us a nice little veranda area. Now I go to put some breeze blocks in that back corner, and that's when the game decides that, yeah, it's had enough, it's not playing nice anymore, and we will freeze. But that, so the problem is that I'm in build menu, so I haven't saved at this point, so I ended up having to come back and completely rebuild this shack, and you'll see it's slightly different when we come back. So same thing, put these offset one against the other, go to put it under there, and it's alright when I'm doing it from this angle. It's when I turn around and walk into the greenhouse the problems start. However, we've all been there as builders. If you haven't broken the game, it's, you know, as I've said previously, you're not trying hard enough, and yeah, so it's when I get to here, everything just locks up, and that's been happening a bit lately. I don't know if it's updates that we've had to fall out, whether it's mods that I'm running, I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, there you go, the whole thing's frozen. So back we come. I've rebuilt it now. I decided to go in a completely different direction to support that and put a fence in like this, and again takes me in a completely different direction. So as annoying as it was, it actually ends up being giving me a different creative direction to go in with putting this fence in, and it gives a different look to what I'd originally planned anyway, which is I don't mind it, I think it's good. It's interesting how even if you do what we do here and put a video together, if somebody watches this video and tried to recreate this particular building, they would probably do it in a different way. And you can see, having come back and rebuilt it, I'm doing it something completely different. So it's all good. It's how you progress, I guess. So this fence is kind of a strange kind of size, so I'm going to put two and overlap them in there. And then we'll see if we can put some railings above it and see if that works as well. And then this dwelling is pretty much done. Put that ladder back in place because I like that just sitting off the side of the building there. I don't think it has any practical use, to be honest, but anyway, it looks good. So I'm going to put these railings in place just for safety's sake and just make it look a little bit different. I put it in there and think, no, it doesn't look right, so we're going to leave it like that. So there you go, there's the dwelling. There's plenty of room. I've got some decoration to do, obviously, which I won't show you today because basically I haven't had time to do it. But the last thing I do is just put some carpet in here and make it look a little bit posh. There we go, like that. And these are the carpets from Workshop Rearranged that just snap to the floor. There we go. Done and dusted. So finish that off. I'm confused how to get at, and I look at this kind of area here and think, could I squeeze one more building in that shed? And again, completely off the cuff, experimental. Start looking for some pieces here, come across something quite by accident, and just start to build. I'm going to use the pier, one of the pier supports here. Probably that one. It sinks into the ground, so that's good. And that's going to be a doorway. And let's just see where this takes us. Not sure where it'll take us, but here we go. Can we get under that? The big thing is, can we get under that? Yes, we can, which is good. And I need your help once we get this finished. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to use this for. So once you see the finished building, leave me some suggestions about what this possibly might be building wise, what function it could make. And it's really just a case of whacking a couple of walls on here and a roof, and we are good. But it just fills up that gap a little bit. There you go, that clips on there. That's okay. So that helps us line everything up. We want that kind of be in there a little bit. Now you'll see that, oh, that's pretty close, and I think when I change angles it's completely not straight and not even close. So be careful with that, with the angles that Fallout gives you, Fallout 4 gives you, because they're not, you got to take it in for both sides. So I like to have that just a little bit into the wall there, and I want to try and close that gap a little bit. Now the thing I should have done here is put the floor stroke roof on next, and then this wall would have snapped straight to it. Of course, knowing me, I go the other way, and I use the difficult way of doing things. So there we go, like that. And of course that doesn't want to snap anywhere, so we're going to have to persuade it into place, and then changing the angle can often help here though. So a bit of finagling later and we will get this done, and then we'll go and show you around some of the stuff we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. So here we go, we're just doing little finishing touches to this. I'm working on a whole lot of kind of elements to try and see what kind of makes sense to have in here. Decoration wise, and to make it look a little bit more scrappy than it is. You can see the roof I've put on it is one of those see-through roofs that you get with the barn tab and the warehouse tab. I'll put this in front of here, and it actually makes kind of a natural doorway. And sorry, I apologise for the gentleman with his power tools next door. He obviously waited until I started recording before he switched those on. Put that in there, and you can see there's like a natural doorway there to get in there. So give me some suggestions what you want this building, and then the next thing we'll do is go to the tour, and we'll show you some of the buildings we've already built that I've actually managed to get time to decorate in as we finish off here. Plop, plop, plop. There we go. Done. So welcome back. Here we are back in the settlement. We'll take you downstairs. You've seen the schoolhouse, so we'll take you down in here. I've made this a little barbecue hangout area in here, so the residents can come out and have a yarn. Probably need a little bit of decoration on the table, but anyway, here is the doctor's stroke medic's house. There we go. Kept it pretty nice and simple in here. And we'll take you upstairs to the medic stroke doctor's working environment, which is up here, which is the clinic for the whole settlement. And this is pretty nice. So you have a little waiting area here. So it's 24 hours clinic. So there must be a couple of medics here. You sit here and do a consultation. And then of course we have a little examination room in here. There we go. And you can, the doctor can sit and contemplate the world looking out on the settlement. Thank you to Quick Smoke for the idea for a medical clinic. And then downstairs, just quickly, down here, round we go. I've done a little cutout here, and this is really just a little dwelling. There's nothing much to this. Little desk, bit of power armor. Exo 1 power armor though. Voltec Exo 1 power armor. And then on this side here, again this is a little dwelling. Custom little bed. And little table. So guys, thank you so much for supporting this whole series and the build at Oberland Station. We're going to stick a pin in it now and say that's completed. I have a little bit more decoration to do, and then I will organise a final tour for you guys in the next few weeks. Please leave your comments to what you would like to see me build, or where you would like to see me build on fixing up the Commonwealth next. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya!